This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Alrighty. Let's see. Let's bring him aboard. There he is, locked and loaded. Isn't that hat sweaty now at this point?
What happened?
Huh? Isn't that hat all sweaty right now?
No.
It's not,
I have 18 of those, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. So you have 18 of those. Okay. Why that number? Why 18?
Because I thought 19 was excessive.
All right. That's true. 19 is a little too much. 18 rounded out, even number. Yeah, it makes sense of the far on it. So that, I'm with you there. All right. Through the first 2 days here, Mike White is outperforming Skylar Thompson. What do you think about that?
What first 2 days? You mean the first 2 days this week? We don't count last week?
Yesterday and today. I'm just saying, like the last 2 days. I'm not going to count the other mini camps, off camps. Like right now, the last 2 days here, where we've had a crowd. Okay, and I think I'm gonna have to give Kyle Krabs a little love on this. We're there watching, but Mike White is not in practice before where there's nobody around except Alain Poupart and his Montreal hat. So he doesn't give a shit about impressing, Alain Poupart, but the whole crowd was there. Mike White lit it up the last 2 days. So what do you think about that the last 2 days? Would you give him a edge?
It's actually interesting, though, because his reputation is a guy who's not a great practice player, plays much better on game day. And lo and behold, the first day his first pass, 11 on 11, he goes deep to Jalen Waddle. I don't disagree with your assessment. In fact, I would agree with it. He has looked more consistent, sharper than Skylar Thompson.
The last 2 days, just the last 2 days.
The last 2 days, I think pretty clearly.
Had although Waddle screwed him today, but and Waddle's got to stop with that shit, bro. He's got to stop with that shit. He has a drop in every game, and it's like a consistent thing. And that pass there, that's the one you can't drop, bro. That was a touchdown. That was red zone stuff. You're right there to score with that play. But he had a little bit of a ball placement issue today. Like the interception he threw it to inside. Even though I know you might think Azukama might not have come back too much for it, but it was still too much inside. He didn't lead Azukama to the outside like he should have throw.
Agreed. Bad throw, bad play by the wide receiver, providing no help.
Yeah. But I blame him more on the quarterback because the ball. And I think that was he's not off by much, Skylar, but he had just a little issue with ball placement today is kind of what I noticed, really, what it was.
I agree. And then White had a couple of nice throws. He had one that really impressed me where he had a rusher coming in straight at him, and he kind of dropped the angle and almost threw a sidearm pass down the middle to Waddle, I think maybe for 10 yards, which is not a big deal if you look at it, but the way he adjusted the arm angle, that looked good to me.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, Tanner Connor better get his ass healthy because getting Higgy with it made a nice play today.
Except that's his first in 5 practices. So
I know. But is he taking jiu-jitsu? Because he did a little roll and everything on top of all of that. Because he learned how to fall and broke that fall.
On the play, no, I didn't. You lost me.
On the ball, he did like a somersault. I was like, hey, he's taking jiu-jitsu too, bro. All right, nice job.
No, that was a nice play. And then again, like I said, that was the first time he has been like very disappointing to me in camp until today, where he made a nice play on the ball because it was a contested pass, and he clearly won the battle with Justin Bethel.
Yeah. And by the way, kudos to Bethel. I think it was Skylar he intercepted, right? Was it Skylar?
He intercepted the play with Azukama, yeah.
With Azukama, it was Bethel. So by the way, Bethel's had like a pretty decent last 2 days here too. It's like he's a dude that kind of comes under the radar, and he's not just a special teamer. He can make a play or two on special teams. I mean, on defense every once in a while.
Yeah, he was effective when he came in. I didn't like his practice yesterday at all, and it wasn't just that he got beat in the one-on-one battles with the wide receivers, which I always point out is completely unfair to the DBs.
Almost everybody got beat. Yes,
correct. Yep. But there's a way of getting beaten. There's a way of, like, if you're there and you're not playing the ball correctly, that's different. Or if you get beat easily, like on a deep run, that those are different things than getting beat by the time making 5 moves. And then there was a play, it was a touchdown pass. I want to say may have been Skyler actually to Tyreek Hill, where the ball just whizzed by Bethel because he never turned around and could have made a play. But having said all that, yeah, last year I liked his work when he was thrown into the action at cornerback in addition to special team. But the Dolphins have a lot of cornerbacks, and even after the injury to Jalen Ramsey, especially now with the addition of Eli Apple.
Yeah, I got to bring my binoculars, bro, because the white shirts with the numbers, it becomes a pain in the ass. But kind of from what I've noticed, these last 2 days here, Eichenberg hasn't been bad, dude. He's actually done a decent job.
No, I from what I noticed today, he was good. I watched him. They did a little one-on-one.
Thing about Austin Jackson, but I kind of noticed that Eichenberg won some battles. He actually did all right. I didn't see, you know what I didn't notice? Him getting like completely beat or missed the block completely and somebody was free. You know, some of the shit that went on with him at times over the years. I thought he's practiced well these last 2 days.
Yeah, he's been okay. As I started saying, there was like a session of one-on-one with D lineman against O lineman, the pass rush and all that. And he went up against Christian Wilkins, the 2 reps I saw. And the first one, he completely stoned Wilkins. On the second one, Wilson outside of him and may have gotten around him, but I mean, they're going to win every battle with Wilkins. And the way he stood him up the first play was fine. There was one play late, one of the last plays of practice, actually, he was protecting, I don't know who it was, or Raycon, but he had like a fistful of jerseys up in the face like this as one of those where I haven't noticed him like, and you mentioned Austin Jackson. I have not noticed Austin Jackson at all, one way or the other. And for me, with O-lineman, that's actually not bad.
That's not bad, but unlike Eichenberg, I saw Eichenberg win a few battles here the last couple of days. And I was like, hey, man, that's, okay, there's something there. Hopefully, hopefully he can build on it and it continues. And I saw the Wilkins one and I was like, whoa, all right, dude, nice job. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about the same one I'm talking about. Yeah, I completely stood him up. That was good. He had one play yesterday also as a running play that I wrote down in my notes where he completely sealed off somebody to the outside and the running back ran right behind him. I can't remember which running back it was. I think
it was Mostert. Actually. Yeah, I think it was Mostert, the player you're talking about. So I that's actually, some good news there. Give me an under the radar name that stood out to you in the last day or two.
Under the radar name that stood out to me. Oh man, you're putting me on the spot here.
Peely got a nice hit today. Brandon.
Yeah, but he keeps throwing Mostert to the ground after a running play. He's going to hear about it, and he's going to get his ass cut pretty soon if he doesn't knock that out. You don't do that. Sorry, it was a nice play, but don't do that.
Yeah, but it's a catch-22. It's like, kid, that was a hell of a play, but you can't do that.
Correct. Well, you can wrap him up and make him stand still in place, but don't finish with the throwing motion. I don't know if it's really under the radar, but I'm still liking Cam Smith. I mean, Cam Smith had one bad practice, and every other day he's had one or two plays that's like, there's something there.
Yeah.
So, but under the radar,
Cam Smith is a good one.
Is Kendall Lamb under the radar? Because he's looked good.
Azukama's look good, right? He's done all right.
Is he under the radar? Well, today
what I'm saying is guys that aren't starters, aren't obvious, guys that are backups, young guys.
Kendall Lamb was really good today.
That's a good one. That's another guy that, it's and this is why it's really funny how things have developed for the fans or the media or the team. Like most of us, we're not yet comfortable with Eichenberg or Jackson. Yet on their side, they don't show any panic. You know what I mean? And then some of us understand their running back situation. But then there are some fans and even some media members that are like, oh, no, you got to go get Dalvin Cook. And they're like, we're fine at running back, bro. We're not killing ourselves, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of odd how they feel about one thing and about how others kind of feel about this, certain situations, with the team.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they're always right. It doesn't mean we're always right and all that. It's
right.
Dude. We'll find out. I'm with you on the running back situation. I don't think there's a crying need for Dalvin Cook, even though yes, he would become the best running back on the roster. But I think they have enough to get the job done. And as far as the two offensive linemen, we've been through 5 practices. Can we just wait a little bit? I mean,
right. No, of course. Not only that. Here's the difference between running back and offensive line, okay? As I've told everybody and tried to explain to them from day one, they're not trading for Saquon Barkley, and they're not trading for Dalvin Cook or Jonathan Taylor or any running back, and they're not giving big money to any running back. I've been telling everybody from day freaking one on that. Now, they can tell me all they want about Eichenberg and Jackson. If there was a lineman available that they could trade for, brother, they would do it. Not a heartbeat. A heartbeat's not fast enough. I don't even know if lightning's fast enough, okay? I don't know what's faster than lightning. Whatever's faster than lightning would be the Dolphins' reaction if, let's say, Zach Martin became available, okay? Let's put it that way. If Zach Martin, yeah, we'll trade for him, Adam, here for a couple of years and start. That's what they would do. They will go bend over backwards for that position. The running back position, they don't. Even though they'll tell us, hey, we're not ready to give up on Eichenberg and Jackson. I know you guys are, but we're not. We believe in them, yada, 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 yada. If an offensive lineman became available, a good one, brother, they would be one of the first teams fighting for that. You agree with that?
Yeah, but there's only one problem with that. Teams don't trade away great offensive linemen.
I know. That's what I'm with you there. I'm just saying that what some of you out there feel like, they got to go trade for Dalvin Cook or Jonathan Taylor. You know how it is, dude. Everybody that becomes available, you get the same emails and DMs I do. Oh, we got to get him. We got to get him now. That's how they would be with a lineman if it would become available. It's a league that doesn't even have enough linemen as it is. Everybody's got O-line problems pretty much, bro. It's very few teams that have like 5 guys that they're super happy with. I don't know if you guys realize that out there. But the problem the Dolphins have, I would say 25 teams in the NFL have that, maybe 28. There's only a couple teams that might say they're super happy with all 5 guys.
And guess what? Just look at the AFC East and the contenders. Bill's biggest question mark, O-line. Jets' biggest question mark, O-line.
Yep, all of them. Yep. You are correct. You are 1,000% right. Let's see, what else did I mention here? Oh, by the way, dude, all these media people were telling me that Dalvin Cook was going to sign with the Jets, and oh my God, the Dolphins let him go. Well, he was there all weekend long, hanging out with them. I heard the head coach call it a meet and greet.
Okay. Doesn't mean he's not signing with them. I mean,
he left. He didn't sign.
Sure. Well, did you see the tweet from his agent?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, what was it? You just wait and see, or something like that.
His agent has misplayed this so badly. It's not even funny. Both of them have misplayed this entire fiasco so badly. I'm just, I thought he was going to sign. I mean, oh my God. You got the same thing, right? We got all these panicked Dolphin fans reaching out to us. Oh my God, they let him go to New York. And, you know how it is. Those Dolphin fans are telling me, like, signed him. Now he's going to sign with New York. And look, he was there all weekend and left without a contract. What is their game plan? Are they waiting for an injury or something?
I don't know. It doesn't mean he's not signing with the Jets. I don't know where that situation stands.
I'm not saying that he's not signing with the Jets. I'm just saying, when is he signing? When does he plan to sign? I thought he would be signing now, like right now, like these couple of days. I thought camp would start like it did now in the last couple of days, and then he'd sign right now in these next couple of days here. I thought he'd end up signing, and he hasn't signed yet. I'm just wondering, like, what is the game plan? At what point
what's his hurry, though?
Huh?
If he's got an agreement in principle with the Jets, what's the hurry?
Well, I'm just saying, because I'm sure you want to, like, get in a groove already with whatever team You know what I'm saying? Because eventually that's going to be Breece Hall's team. The second the kid is 100% healthy, he's going to be the main ball carrier of that team.
Or maybe that's the discussion of like, okay, with some, give and take of like, okay, how much of the offense is going to be Breece Hall? How much do I get to participate? If they have Dalvin Cook, I don't think it's going to be Breece Hall like 90% and Dalvin Cook, you get like the crumbs. I don't think you signed Dalvin Cook to make it that kind of situation. And it's obviously not going to be the other way around because Breece Hall is too good a player. So is there some back and forth going on where Cook, listen, you got to make me some part of the offense, and Salah's, I don't know, they're trying to have some sort of compromise. Who knows? But okay. To me, it's still probably more likely he signs with the Jets than with the Dolphins.
Yeah, no, definitely. The Jets, I'm sure, they have more money now. They have like $16 million, I think it is, under the cap. You know what I mean? And
they have more of a need also.
Yeah, and by the way, Aaron Rodgers did not take a pay cut. Just so people will know out there. There was no pay cut, okay? What he did was he deferred money to the back end. And he's not going to end up finishing that contract. So they have this thing now in the NFL that they can pay you years after. They can break it down for a couple of years. And that's what's going to end up happening. He's going to play for a couple of years. And then there's going to be a couple more years after that he'll have a cap number against him. You know what I mean? Because he has an agreement to have $35 million in 25 and $20 million in 26. Do you think he's really playing those seasons? No, he's not. Two, and then the other ones will be a burden. They'll roll over. And, I don't know what it is what it's called that they do when they stretch it out. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You're talking about void years?
Yeah, the voided years thing that they do. That's what exactly. I think that is what it's called. Yeah. So that's what they'll do with him. So he didn't take a pay cut. He just deferred the money to the back end. And so he won't be on the team. He'll be Bobby Bonilla-ing the money while he's, out. So that's kind of what it is.
Okay. So my understanding of it is he went from 105 to 70 guaranteed.
35, yeah.
Well, that's a $35 million pay cut. The bottom line is,
but he has 35 and 25 and 20 and 26. So he's not playing those. And
but if it's not guaranteed, he's not seeing it. I don't know. I'd have to see the exact details of the contract. But my understanding from what I read is, yes, he absolutely literally took a $35 million pay cut.
Up front, he took the haircut, but he gets it on the back end is what he's doing. So it's just one of those things that they kind of dress it one way. Let me see it right here. I'll show it to you. They dress it up. They tell you one way, but it's really, dressed up the other way. The deal also calls for Rodgers to have a $20 million salary in 26. And there's another $35 million option in 2025. So he's going to end up having some guarantees out of all of that. I'm sure the money he's missed is where he's going to get that money, in the back end. I don't know. We'll see how it's working out. But I kind of, because most of these guys end up doing that they don't really take the pay cut. They defer the money because it's already guaranteed. So they're not just going to give it back. You're going to give it to me on the back end.
No, correct. But that's how that's phrased. In this particular case, it was phrased as a pure pay cut. Again, I'm not going to argue with you or whatever. I'd have to go back and look at it, but that's my understanding.
Yeah, you can look at it. And by the way, he is a completely different person right now. I believe, one, because he's had this reputation for everybody with everything else. Now he's going to the off-season program, something he didn't do before. He's not talking about constant retirement. He's talking about playing with these guys. He's hanging out with these guys. And then here's the other thing. And far be it for me to talk good about the Jets, but tell me when Green Bay was spending money around him. Okay, thank you very much. And that's what he sees.
Not a ton, correct.
No, never. No, not a ton. Never. They might buy a guy here, another guy 2 years from now, another guy 4 years from now. Never do they go, oh, no, we need a lineman, we need a running back, we need a wide receiver. Let's go buy it. And in New York, they'll do that. In Miami, they'll do that. In other teams that he could have gone to, they'll do those kind of things. And I think that's new to him. that he goes to a team that holy shit, they're actually spending money in free agency. And I think that that's kind of changed his way too, because where he came from, Ted Thompson, and now these people, same thing. It's kind of been like that forever in Green Bay. They have the richest reserves. You know that, right? Do you know that? Do you know they have the richest reserves in the NFL? I don't know if you know.
Richer than Dallas?
Yeah. No, Dallas produces more money on advertising and all that, but their reserves, because they don't spend, they got a lot of money, bro.
Yeah.
They got a ton of money, and they don't spend.
But here's
the baffling part for that team. Dallas spends it. So, they have it and they spend it. These guys actually just take in more than what they give out. It's crazy.
But I told you he'd be the different guy than he was in Green Bay. I mean, it's like he's
right.
like wanted. He's like cherished there. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder, wants to shove it in everybody's face.
Yes, you're right. You're 1,000% right. When you're right, you're right. And he is completely changed. Mm-hmm. And he's at an organization, or like others, that will do things that he's not used to, dude. And you know what? We were thinking that whole New York media thing, maybe he likes this kind of shit. Maybe he likes the attention. You know what I'm saying? Right. And okay, now we'll see when things go wrong, how that all works out. But right now, it just seems like I think he's kind of appreciating the different scenario he's in compared to where he was before. That, dude, they would not buy him a receiver if his life depended on it. You know what I mean?
He is wanted. He was wooed. He was courted. It was fabulous for his ego, and it's the guy with an ego. It was just, and again,
he probably didn't even have that at Cal. You know that? Like when he came out of high school, he probably did not have that kind of fanfare too all over. I don't know how it was for his recruiting or whatever, but it just seems like to me, like the dude is really happy about the situation that he's in.
No, and he was like, he felt overlooked, shunned in the draft because he was expecting to go really, really high. In fact, he thought the 49ers might take him first. Instead, they took Alex Smith. Then with Green Bay, especially the last couple of years where he felt a little bit like, without saying it, maybe they don't appreciate my greatness enough. And now with the Jets, it's like, mwah, 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 we love you, we love you, we love you. And he's going to show them you're right to love me.
Remember the combine they used to have at the Orange Bowl before the draft, that they would have this little competition with players, and they would come out there before, like a month before. You don't remember that?
No, I do remember, because I was there, and it wasn't at the Orange Bowl. It was at Joe Robbie Stadium. I actually spoke to Aaron Rodgers when he was a rookie.
Before that, it was at the Orange Bowl. I know, because
the year I went, I spoke to Aaron Rodgers. It was at Hard Rock Stadium.
Oh, that's right. The Greg Olsen year was the one at the Orange Bowl.
It was called the All-Star College Football Skills Challenge or something like that.
Yeah. David Cantor, after Aaron Rodgers' workout, he goes to me, that kid's going to be a star in this league. Watch. I got to give David Cantor a lot of credit, because nobody was talking about Aaron Rodgers being a star at that point. It was just kind of like, oh, no, this is a Jeff Tedford QB. They're all soft and chokers, and Kyle Bowler and Harrington. And I'm trying to think of the different Tedford QBs, that Jeff Tedford or Ted Tedford or whatever it was. He got on a streak that his QBs just did not translate to the NFL. A couple of them.
Smith, maybe.
It might have been Achilles. It might have been another one. There was like three, and maybe Achilles the other one. And so then all of a sudden he got that label, and so Aaron also kind of fell in that umbrella. And so people disrespected Aaron going into the draft because of Tedford, basically, and the system. Oh, it's a system that produces the yard. You and I, we grew up with that. BYU was, Robbie Bosco and Ty Detmer and all that. Now, McMahon came out of it, and Steve Young came out of it also. So let's not, you know what I mean? But systems sometimes produce quarterbacks that put up some serious
Houston Cougars.
Exactly. And I think that's what happened to Aaron in that draft. But I never forget David Canner. And he goes, that kid's going to be a star. I don't care what anybody tells me. And that's the only person I ever heard say that about Aaron Rodgers before he was drafted. So I got to give David Canner props on that.
You could tell he could throw the ball. I mean,
yes,
that one day at Hard Rock Stadium, whatever it was called back then, he could sling it, and he had a major chip on his shoulder when I talked to him. I remember leaving that day going, holy moly, somebody's got a chip or.
Because it looked like darts, like what you see in the end all year. Like throughout his career, he looks like he's a video game. Really, seriously, the way he throws the ball, the way it goes perfectly somewhere, the ball placement is. Aaron Rodgers, I've always said, looks like a video game when he throws the ball. It's just
there's not a whole lot of effort. It looks like, and that ball gets there.
And the ball gets her like that, dude. It's a beautiful gift. All right, give me one more thing that stood out before you leave.
Today, David Long Jr.
Oh, yeah. He was good in the ring.
Dude was all over the place.
Yeah.
Dude was all over the place today.
Yeah, that's one position they can't have. See, the Jalen Ramsey, I'm not worried a goddamn bit about that at all. Of course, I want Ramsey on the team. But with Kohu, and I know Trill will get back, and Needham's there, and Healthy X, and Holland, and all that. Holland made a nice play at the end of the practice. I'm not worried about the secondary. Plus, you give me Vic Fangio. Now you added Ogba back. Everybody's healthy now. The defense is going to be way better than it was last year without Jalen Ramsey. Now you add Jalen Ramsey and Long. All of a sudden now, your defense should be way better than it was last year without Jalen Ramsey. Once you add Jalen Ramsey, obviously you go over the top. But you can win as many games with or without Jalen Ramsey in the regular season with the group you have right now, as long as there aren't any other serious injuries. They can overcome the Jalen Ramsey one. Now, if David Long gets injured, oh, shit. Now we're talking. Now we don't know where the hell they stand. You know what I'm saying?
They're also thin up front, if we're going to be honest about it.
On D tackle, you mean?
Yeah.
Or on end?
On interior defensive linemen. Because behind Wilkins, Sealer, and Davis, there's nothing proven back there. Not one player who's proven.
Yeah, you're right. Can't argue with that. There might be a gem back there or two. We don't know, but you're right. It's untested. That's fair. Yep. But they have a lot of depth at corner, and they don't have any depth at linebacker, at least that we know of. Although the Cameron Good kid is hopefully starting to show a little something. We'll see. What do you got going on SI so folks can check it out?
Well, complete practice recap as we always do. I got my observations already up. Omar's doing his stock report, and he'll have his takeaways a little bit later on. And I have the story about Teron Armstead coming off PUP. Was in uniform at practice, had not yet been activated, but that's coming later today.
All right, make sure you check Omar's hand placements. All right, follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL and catch him later in the week here doing his thing in the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. I still can't believe he said that.
You're a bad man. Talk to you later.
Fire away, Sean.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.